Hello and welcome
Mhm.
to the Story Heroes podcast. My name is Ammar Akhtar, and today we have with us Lilia Udovychenko, all the way from Ukraine. She is
Ah,
the
hey.
symbol of women empowerment, the woman in tech, and a sales superstar since almost 13 years. Hey Lilia, how are you doing?
Hey, thank you very much for such a nice introduction. Doing well, very excited.
Lilia, I'm very excited to have you on the show because when I look at your journey, I find it really amazing because I still remember meeting you in 2017, Web Summit, and you have grown
Yeah,
by leaps and bounds since then. And you're the head of sales, at MLS Dev, which is one of the fastest growing tech companies in Ukraine, I would say, right? So you
yeah,
are
not
this.
only in Ukraine. Yeah.
So you are this woman in tech since almost 13 years, right? How did you get into this tech industry, Lilia?
That's a very good question. Actually, it was during my studies when I was invited to start working at a game development agency
Okay.
located in Dnieper. It's like the heart of Ukraine, so to say, geographically. And I was invited to work for that company. And basically, this is how my career started. I studied and I worked, and that was kind of a different industry, a little bit, yeah. But nevertheless, this is when I found out that this is something that I'm very eager, to continue develop. I mean, from the standpoint of my skills, and this is like it felt very warm, if I can say
Right.
so,
Right.
because this is the exact domain that I wanted to be in, and so this is the kind of the people, the kind of the atmosphere that I wanted to participate and be a part of.
Wow, that's a very interesting, journey, and I like the word that you have used, the warm. You felt the warmth,
Yeah,
it was very
yeah.
warm. Yeah,
It is.
incredible.
It is. It's been still so for me. And like at the points when I realized that this is the exact thing that I'm gonna do in the future, I asked myself a few questions like, what can I do in order to become better professionally? Of course, how can I improve my skills, personal ones, professional ones, and technical, of course, ones. And the very next step was that I came up with was to go to the Germany for 1 year and to for studies in order to better understand the mentality of the people whom I wanted to work with. Yeah, because I believe that in order to start working with people worldwide, I mean from other countries, and I do work with clients from all over the world. It is very important to not only to read something about that people, but to be inside of their mentality, if I can say so. Yeah, and this is why I went to Germany for a year. I studied there. I traveled a lot, and this is how I evolved. I started to evolve even professionally, and then right after the completion of those studies, I started to work at MLS Dev, and it's been my ninth year here. And basically, now I work with my clients from different countries, like mainly that is United States, that is the GCC region,
Right.
and I was personally in Kuwait, um, for the sake of understanding the region, the mentality, the
Yes.
behavior of people, their values. I believe that is very important.
Yes, that is for sure. Great. So, Lilia, that's a great, great journey, I must say. So, being a woman in an industry where it is dominated mostly by men, right? Mostly, in the tech, we
Yeah.
see a lot of men there. And if I have to, give it some kind of a ratio, I would say almost 80 to 90%, you'll find men in the industry, right? So how do you,
Yeah.
manage that gender inequality, in this kind of industry? How did you reach this stage, of your career? What exactly did you do?
Yeah, you're right. If you're speaking about the Ukrainian IT domain, we can see that only 20% um, belong to women.
Right.
All the rest has been powered by men. But I have not ever been treated like. how to say it properly, I haven't ever felt any difference in
Right.
attitude. I've been treated very well, and actually I love those people whom I work with. I love working both with men and women, and I feel very comfortable. The majority of my clients, they are men.
Right.
um, I used to work with women, and yeah, but it happened that you don't often work with women. Yeah, I love working, of course, with both, and
Right.
this is very exciting. I don't feel any difference, like,
Okay, that's amazing because I've come across many women in tech industry, and they say it is very hard to find us believable. Like a lot of people, when we are talking about some technology, people mostly believe men and not really women. And I was like, why would that happen? Because it should be about the expertise and not the gender, right? It should not be about the
Yes,
yeah.
correct. Yes, correct. From that standpoint, it's all about equality. And maybe if I used to have any kind of bad or negative experience, I would have told like something different. But um, just as mentioned, I've been working with clients for ages already, and I do a lot of personal meetings in different regions with my clients, and I work with the guys. I work with men. The majority of our team members, they are men. But I have never ever heard any words, or I have never been done any kind of attitude that I wouldn't treat as like, as a well.
Right.
It's been good so far, and this is something that I really like.
Right, I understand. And Lilia, how would you see Ukraine as a technological power? Because I see a lot of companies, in Ukraine now, and they're working on the outsourcing model, and they are having this
Yeah.
outreach to the world, right? How do you see
Hmm.
Ukraine's technological, expertise, and how do you rank it? Don't be biased because I know it's
Hmm.
your country, and give us an honest answer.
Yeah. Of course, I always prefer being transparent and sharing just my thoughts, what I think. And I believe that it's not a secret that Ukraine has been quite a powerful center
Yes.
for software development. There are quite a lot of R&D centers here. There are the markets of, I mean, the IT market. It counts about 1,300 IT companies here,
Wow.
and these, if you take a look at Clutch, you will see that every single year, the growth rate, it comes to about 10%. So the
Wow.
companies
Mhm.
appear, and this is, and so you should treat it as like a sign that so they do understand the quality of the work, the attitude, because the level of education and the level of understanding of different markets, the level of doing business is quite high in Ukraine. Of course, just like in any country, just like in any business, you can find some companies who deliver their service at a low level. Yeah, that this is the truth of any business.
Right.
However, the
Yes.
majority of the companies, they deliver at a very good quality for reasonable price, and this is what makes Ukraine an attractive place to outsource their projects to.
Right, that's quite interesting because yes, you're right. There are goods and bads in every industry in every country, and I see Ukraine is
Yeah.
growing by leaps and bounds, and 10% increase year over year is fantastic. So
Yeah,
yeah,
indeed. And just to add, if Ukraine would be a bad place to outsource the projects to, why would, for instance, Vietnamese that work with McDonald's, Baltics, or such companies as ESPN? These are huge companies,
yes, of
enormous,
course.
and I'm very grateful that, like, if we have them among our clients. Why? Because this tells about our attitude, about our expertise, about our professionalism, like,
No, no, you're absolutely right. And Lilia, how COVID-19 has changed, if it has changed anything for you as a professional, how do you or any change in the approach to approaching your clients? How do you see? Has it
Mhm.
changed anything for you guys this year, or it was the same business as usual?
Like I would say that we used to have a minor hiccup in spring. However, that was an insignificant stuff for us because we were well prepared for that, and we at that particular point we had clients who used to work with us like for ages, who uh, uh, who value what we were doing for them, and we still keep working. Besides, our strategic focus at MLS Dev is the development of mostly healthcare solutions and e-commerce on-demand delivery. Obviously, for us, there was not a huge impact, I mean, on our business because COVID-19 has shown to I believe that's to everyone, has shown that it's very important to digitalize your business online, and basically the the industries that realized that huge needs were like mostly healthcare, retail. Of course, there were many others, but we saw a great demand for the services in those domains, and this is exactly what we have been doing before, long years ago. So for us, there was not a huge impact. Nothing, almost nothing has changed. We kept working just as we usually did it. However, I know that for even speaking about IT companies in Ukraine or from other countries, there was a huge impact, and it was negative, especially for those companies who were mature, like who have been in existence for about a year or something, or whose strategic focus was something different, like that were different domains. For instance, traveling, they suffered a lot. Basically the software development companies who delivered products for these segments in particular, they suffered. um, but like for us, that has been, if I can say so, I don't dare to say good, but like, that was as usual. Yeah, because what can be good about the situation that we are facing now?
No, no, absolutely, you're right. So Lilia, I would like to also understand because you are the head of sales of a tech company, right? So how do
Yes.
you guys find new customers? Is there a strategy behind it, and which is the largest channel for you to find new customers?
Like, Amar, at this particular moment, we are at that level when our customers find
Hmm.
us. We no longer
Wow.
do any
Okay,
outreach campaigns.
that's cool.
We don't spam. Yeah, we don't send spammy emails on LinkedIn. We don't send spammy email campaigns because so what we do a lot of content marketing. And if you go to our blog, you will see the level of the expertise and
Yes,
like the level
I've
of
seen
our
that.
knowledge. So
Yes.
yeah, a lot of people are actually involved into the article process creation. It's not just that, like, I don't know, we have hired a content manager and this person is doing this job, some copy paste. And no, like we have a very special process for that, when even developers or business analysts, they contribute their knowledge. So it's a kind of the team process, you see. And I believe that's the majority of our clients. They find us through Google search, let's say, and through our inbound marketing campaigns, if I can say so. Yeah. So I'm happy that we are we are currently at this level of mm, of customer attraction campaigns, if I can say so. Yeah, when we are being found.
Right. That's very interesting that now customers can find you because I'm sure you guys have done amazing work. And then, first you speak about the business, and then when you do amazing work, the work speaks for itself, right? So the customers find you,
Yes,
and then you grow
exactly.
as a brand.
Exactly. And also, I believe that it's the personal brand that matters now. I would say that I spot a difference in the way the business keeps evolving. Because before it was, I don't know, B2B, B2C, and now I would call it H to H, when it's the
Right.
mostly human to human business.
Yes. Yes.
Why I'm saying so is that, for instance, I try to post some useful tips and recommendations on my LinkedIn page, and I can see that people like it. Why? Because maybe my audience maybe my followers, they are not that active in terms of, I don't know, giving any comments or stuff like that, but they do come to me and send me direct messages requesting for our service or some consultations, yeah, in tech. And this tells me that like, it's not enough for a development agency to have just a polished website, because everyone tends to do that. Yeah. So how can you make sure that this company is trustworthy?
Yes.
The best way to do it is to either go and find some references. I don't know, go and check this company profile on Clutch or IT firms, or just go and see what kind of people they are. So I believe that I can show what kind of people we are, even by my example, by sharing some experts content, let's say recommendation on my LinkedIn page, or like, on other channels. This is one of the ways how I can prove my expertise without, I don't know, spamming people, because actually I hate doing this.
That's a great approach, without, spamming people, but you create value by sharing the valuable content, and people consume the
Yeah.
content and they understand what kind of a person you are and what kind of a people you are as a
Yes.
company, as a, as a character.
Yeah. Because in the end, it's all, business is all about people.
Yes.
You don't do business with the websites, you do business with people, and you should understand what kind of people we are. Because I usually, once I get a project, or once we start a project at MLS Dev, I usually ask my clients, why have you chosen us? And you don't believe that, Amar, but sometimes I hear that it's because of you, it's because of the team, because of the people. Yeah, and this resonates me, because I do share these values. In the end, it's all about people here.
That is a beautiful thought. I totally agree with you, because I've always believed that business is actually about people, and people actually buy from people. So people are itself are brands, and I'm sure for them you are actually a brand yourself. And then of course your company that you represent, that is MLS Dev, right? So talking about MLS Dev, Lilia, I have been mentoring a lot of startups, right? And we always
Yeah.
discuss about the technology stack, what should they choose, and who will make these things for them, and stuff like that,
Mhm.
right? The
Yeah.
number one objection or the number one fear that they have is, what if I outsource my project, and what will happen to my IP? What will happen to my secret?
That's a common fear.
What will
Yeah.
happen to this? Who will own the code? And all those things, right?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
do you mitigate these risks, and how do you answer these very hard questions?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and I'm happy that you raised it. The answer is simple. We are a mature company. We make huge investments into our marketing campaigns. We have our history, yeah, and it's been for 11 years already. Why don't we put our company, our brands, our enormous efforts, and like, big investments, financial ones, under the risk if you just go and steal your idea? Our business has a different business model. It's not about stealing someone else's ideas. It's not about building our own products. It's about helping you guys set up your digital business. And this is what we do. And uh, like, it's very easy to check if the company, I don't know, is eager to steal your idea or not. Basically, that's a kind of frustrating thing for me, because it's just a different kind of business, and we are here not for the sake of stealing someone's idea. Believe me, um, every day we get so many project inquiries that we can easily spot any like, any difference in trends, and any kind of difference on the market. And we are the first people who can see that difference. Yeah. We constantly do markets analysis, so we understand what's been happening here. And what I'm trying to say is that we are the first who can come up with some great ideas if you want to launch our products. But we are here in order to help you leverage from our knowledge and expertise. And I believe that you can check if the company is good enough and if you can trust the company by the way they communicate. Because if the company, like, you can see it even on the first calls. If the company is trying to challenge you, if the company is trying to help you make your concept better, and like, they provide their ideas, they share their ideas with you, so this is like a kind of the green light for you. Yeah, if they just stand still and they don't, I don't know, interact with you, and they are eager to just sit down, listen to whatever you say and do some blind coding for you, so maybe that could be a kind of the red flag. Yeah,
Right. That's
do you
very,
agree?
very interesting. No, I totally agree with you, and I always like the companies, who are, challenging us. Talking about the challenge here, Lilia, I'm sure you come across many ideas every single day, and some of them
Yeah,
will not work, or they don't make sense, or yes,
yeah,
maybe the customer will give you money to make the project, but this project will
we
never
won't take
take
it.
off. You will not take it.
No, actually, we have quite. We also have some projects to choose from. Yeah, and we tend to choose the projects that we are excited about, that fall into our strategic focus, and that we feel they have some kind of potential on the markets, and that we uh, feel that we can help to make those better. If we see, and yeah, sometimes this happens, that the project idea is not that kind of feasible enough, like, and we hesitate. We know the market, so we can easily spot whether or not this is going to be successful idea
Yes,
or not.
of
So
course.
we are always transparent. Not all of the people, to be honest, like to hear that, but we always say that. And provide recommendations. So we believe that this idea is a kind of big, but we know how to make it stronger. What if we make a pivot? What if we change the concept slightly? Would you be open for that? And if the answer is yes, then why not? We are very happy, like, to improve the idea.
Right. That's quite interesting, because that's more like a partnership, right? And it's not just like,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's very collaborative.
yeah. It's very collaborative approach. That's the very right word.
Right. It's very, very interesting. I like that. So I'll challenge you on one more question. Okay. So just imagine
Good.
that your company has built a delivery app for someone. Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
And someone else sees the app and they say, "Oh, wow, that is very nice app, by the way." And they come to you and they say, "Hey, Lilia, I also want the same app. Just change the labels and give the app to me. Will you give it, or how do you handle that?"
Yeah, that's also one. This question is also good, and it's one of the most typically asked questions.
Yes. Yes.
We love our clients, and we do understand how much efforts you need in order to launch your business. This is why we do not develop projects that can compete with each other. So, for instance, if we develop a delivery application which we have in the United States, and there is just the same project coming to the same markets, then we will have to refuse. Yeah, even though we can be so much excited, even though that we understand, like, that we have the skills, we have the capacity, but we have to reject this idea, not idea, but inquiry at that time, like at that point in time, just because we don't clone applications and we can't compete. Yeah, we can't develop apps that compete. But if the application, if let's say there is the same concept or similar, but for a different market, then of course we can advise how to make it better, and how to adjust it to this particular market, because there is quite a big difference if you develop, I don't know, a delivery application, let's say, in Kuwait, and if you develop it in Nigeria, or if you develop it in the United States, like, there is a different mentality, there is a different user behavior. So this is why the apps of the same concept can't be exactly the same.
Right. I understand. I think that's a very good approach, that you have this non-competence, clause in the development work that you
Yeah,
guys do. I think it's very, very important, not just for you, but also for the
it
customer, to
is.
build the trust, right?
Of
So,
course,
talking
of
about
course.
the trust, what exactly is your, outlook on the GCC market as a whole, like Kuwait, UAE, Saudi? How do you
Yeah.
see this market coming up? I'm sure you receive a lot of inquiries every single day to make software apps and stuff. how do you see this market coming up?
I love working with people from this region. We have quite a strong presence in the GCC market. We have delivered quite a lot of successful projects in there, and we keep on working from clients from this region. I used to visit Kuwait a year ago personally.
Right.
I've been there for a week. I just love this country. I was actually. Um, I got there after my third attempt. Obviously, I don't know why, but I used to have some like issues with visa because of women being like traveling alone that are not allowed
Yes.
to enter the country.
Yes.
And even though I used to go there with my colleagues who are men, and like that was a business trip where we helped to kick off quite a complex project. So like on that kind of projects, you just need to go there and set things up. Um, anyway, I've got there and I've spent there a week. So I love this country. I was amazed by the friendliness of people, by the openness of people. And I would have gone there even that spring, but unfortunately my business trip was rescheduled. So I love this region, and I can see that. Like there is a demand also for our services, and I believe that working with Ukrainian companies could also be good for you guys because we have that expertise at a reasonable price, while you have the demand, while you have that need. You have realized the need for digitalization of the business. And I know that in some countries, like in Saudi Arabia, there is the KSA 2030 program even. Yes, so it's on a governmental level. And we realize that need, yeah, and we are happy to help. I enjoy working. I have a lot of clients from Kuwait, from other regions of the GCC. I enjoy working with my clients from this region, as well as, of course, from other regions.
Great, great. So Lilia, now from Kuwait, let's come back to you, right? And
All right.
I was going through one post that you posted recently on LinkedIn, and you have mentioned
Hmm.
that the 22 minutes theory that you have, the
Yeah, that
22
was the post
minutes,
of
right?
yesterday.
Yes. So what exactly is that? Tell me more about these 22
uh,
minutes.
yeah, sure, I'd be happy to. Like, there is a common stereotype related to my profession. um, People think, and I totally understand this concern. People think that if I am a salesperson, so I'm gonna sell hard. I'm gonna tell whatever you would like to hear to. Yeah, I'm gonna do whatever just to get your project. But it is not true.
Sure.
I'm just an open person, and I am sharing my thoughts just as it is. And yesterday, I had an introductory call with one of my potential clients, and it was like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 times during an hour of our call when he repeated that, yeah, I know you're so good, you're so damn good because you're a salesperson, Lilia,
Ah,
because you're a business development person. You're telling me this. Yeah, kudos, Lilia, it's because you're a salesperson and I love your company, but you made me love this. But the truth is that no, it's not like that. I love my company. I love representing MLS Dev. Um, I've been headhunted by other agencies, but I don't want to change this company. I'm so excited about it because I do know I'm like very sure that we can deliver a good job, and that I won't be like then ashamed of. I mean, about the end result. I know that
yes.
our clients will then say, yeah, that was good, thank you. And my philosophy personal is that I don't sell, I help. I help people find the right solutions. I help people to set up their digital business, and this is so exciting. Actually, this makes me feel so happy when I can see the results of our work, like of our collaborative work. And it took me 22 minutes yesterday to make that person believe me that I'm sincere, yeah, that I'm here to help. And then he said, all right, excuse me. Yeah.
Great. That is a great theory, I would say. The 22 minutes rule, right? So, Lilia,
Yeah.
right now we are running out of 22 minutes. So,
Oh,
so
that
I
was
will
such a
ask
good
you.
conversation.
So, I will ask you one question, right? And it's a
Of
very,
course.
very important question
Hmm.
because you have done amazing work. As a woman, I have been watching your career. over time we are
Thank
connected. Of
you.
course, we see each other, right? So sort of thing
Yes.
is, I think that's really amazing. What you have done, right? So,
Thank you.
as an important message, what exactly you can tell to the women out there, right, who are out there to build a career, to do something really awesome, which I'm sure they can.
Yeah.
What's your message to
Yes.
them? And they are listening to you.
Yes. I'm very happy to have this chance. Thank you so much. I can say, um, believe in yourself. You can do this. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to leave your comfort zone because you are able to do that. And as a woman, sometimes you even have some preferences that you just can't avoid, but take these preferences and take on this journey. It's so amazing. And once you make this very first but so much complicated step, you will see that the world is open for this, and you will see that people, they are so kind, like, man, they will support you because doing serious stuff, doing business with men, it's a kind of different approach. It's a huge responsibility, I would say, and it's a different level. Yeah. However, once you start doing this, you will see some support because I have never ever seen any negative attitude to me, and I would like to thank you. To thank my clients, my team members, yeah, for the support. Because even if mm, I'm stuck on something, just I don't know something, or I don't know, I'm trying to find some kind of the solution. I can always ask, and don't be afraid to ask, because in here you will find support, and you will find the right answers to your questions. And both men and women, they can help you. Yeah, so don't be afraid and believe in yourself. Um, Invest in yourself, and not only in your beauty, but also in your um, and mental health, yeah, but also in your knowledge, because this is so important that you keep up and that you keep on growing as a professional, not just as a woman, yeah, but also as a professional in your domain. So never give up. Just be yourself, just do it, and invest in yourself. I believe this is something that I would like to tell to the other women.
Great. So, Lilia, that was a very empowering note. Thank you very much for making this comment. I'm sure a lot of women out there who will see this podcast, hear this, or see it on a video, they would resonate with you,
Yeah,
and they will
I
see
hope so.
how you think, because it's beautiful thinking. Thank you very much once again to appear
Thank
on
you very
Story
much for
Heroes.
inviting me. That's an honor for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure, Lilia.
Yeah, likewise.